If you have a story about a law of attraction success, or about miracles, divine interventions, or happy glitches in the Matrix, send it to me via email or on Instagram. The contact info is on the screen.
I have a question for those parallel universe people. I twice in the last 2 years, last year in June, I had a situation where I was driving and there was a car that was coming head on towards me, and I just stopped and took in a deep breath and just prepared for impact because there was nowhere for that car to go and nowhere for me to go. So I literally thought that we were just going to hit head on, and nothing happened. So I have a dash cam, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get home and see where the hell this car went, because it just felt like an inevitable head-on collision. So when I got home, I told my daughter, this just happened, like, sheesh, I almost just died. And I went to look at my dash cam video, and it showed the car coming head on towards me, and then it blacked out. I get videos from my drives all the time. I live in California, so there's lots of beautiful places where I drive, and I make dash cam videos all the time to post on my social medias. And for whatever reason, I had never seen my videos glitch like that, and that's what happened. Long story short, my whole life just completely changed entirely, and so I don't know what happened. Anyways, so yesterday I was driving on the highway, and one of those construction trucks that carry rocks comes like from the far right lane, crosses over 3 lanes into my lane, and then over to the HOV lane. And I had to like make a hard stop, almost a hard stop, and then kind of like swerve to miss him, or to not get hit. And then I like turn around to give him the evil eye, like, what are you doing? But then the truck wasn't there. So I'm like looking in my rearview mirror, nothing. There's no truck behind me in any of the lanes. There wasn't that much traffic. Again, I went to look at my dash cam video, and it said 1 hour drive. It was like 58-minute drive. It showed the time I left my house and the time that I arrived at my destination. And then when I press play, it shows me already in Hollywood. Like, it has no recording of me leaving the house or being on the highway at all. So, I don't know. What do you think? Did I die again yesterday?
You guys, something really weird just happened to me and I'm kind of freaked out. Like, just listen.
This poster had a crazy time glitch that I just can't explain. So our poster, the librarian, she works at a Barnes and Noble, and she's just working earlier on this day when she sees one of her coworkers walking out, and she's like, "Are you heading out for the day?" And the coworker says yes. And our poster looks down at her analog watch. Remember this, it's an analog watch on her wrist. And it says that it is 1:58 and she's clocking out at 2. So she tells her coworker, "I'm clocking out in 2 minutes." And that's where this glitch in the Matrix begins.
So then I went to go clock out and a customer stopped me and they were like, "Can you help me?" So I was like, "Yeah, blah, blah, blah. What are you looking for?" So then I walked all the way to the back to the kids section, from the front of the store to the back, after talking to a customer, after talking to my coworker, and giving her a hug. So I go to like type in what the customer is looking for. Sorry, you guys, I'm like really freaked out. I went to type in what the customer was looking for, and I looked at my clock because I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be off. It was still 1:58. It was still 1:58.
So she's gonna talk about more like why this is so crazy, but I just want you to remember, she looks down at her watch, realizes it's 1:58. She walks like back and forth in the store, talks to a customer, does all of this stuff, goes to the computer, and it says 1:58. And my first thought was maybe your watch was slow, whatever. But she looks down at her watch and it's still 1:58.
So I was so deeply unsettled. I was like, no. And I was like, did my watch stop? Did my watch stop? So then I looked on the computer terminal and it said 1:58 too. So I remember saying out loud, I was like, this is weird. this is really weird. So then I kept staring at my watch. And then a lady came over to me, she talked to me, and I typed something else in. And then I looked at my watch again, and it finally said 1:59. You guys, my internal clock is pretty good. I know more than 1 minute passed for me to do all of that. There's no way that it remained 1:58 to 1:58, and then I sat there looking at my clock and it was still 1:58. Y'all, there's no way. Like, did time stop? Did anybody else experience something like this around this time? It takes me about a minute to walk from the front to the back in a meandering style, let alone talk to a customer, talk to a coworker, and look something up and walk. It was 1:58 for like 2 to 3 minutes. That's what I'm saying to you guys. It was 1:58 for like 2 to 3 minutes when it should not have been 1:58. Anyways, y'all, I am not okay, because that was weird. By the way, it's a digital watch. It's not analog. The computer terminal said the same thing.
I'm sorry, but when you work retail, I feel like you just know every single minute that passes by. And this poster in particular, the reason this story is so fascinating to me is that she seems so genuinely rattled by it. Look, could she have maybe misread her watch? I guess so. That would pretty much be the only logical explanation here if she's positive that all of these things took more than a minute, which it just, again, sounds like logically it would, but I don't know. She seems so freaked out by it, and I think that freaks me out more. This isn't the kind of content that this poster makes, like, at all, by the way. So I really want to know what you guys think. Did she experience a time glitch where time just stood still for a full minute? Or was this something else? And if it was something else, what was it?
I came across a delicious Glitch in the Matrix / time slip story for you, so let's get into it. I found the story on the 14 Times forum, and our original poster stayed anonymous, but back in the early 90s, he was about 18, 19 years old and was working in a summer job. Now, in this job, him and his colleague used to take a work van and they would drive the same route every single day. So it was a stretch of road through a forest, completely straight, thick forest on either side. They did it every day, multiple times a day. So this one day, they are driving back to their work building through this straight stretch of road in the forest when they realise, shit, they're nearly out of gas. And they decide, look, we're going to keep going, see how far we get, and then if we need to call somebody, we'll call somebody. At the time, the van had long-wave radio, and they reach this stretch of road and the radio cuts out, stops working, a black spot. And on the right-hand side of the road, they notice that there's this shed, this corrugated iron, flat-roofed shed that they've never seen before, with a handwritten sign that just says gas. So they're like, weird, we've never seen this before, but also great. So the pair didn't really think that much of it. They were kind of like, oh, how weird is it that we've driven this road every day and we haven't seen this gas station before? But they thought because it was so mundane, so normal, they just didn't register it in their brain. So the original poster goes into this corrugated iron shed. I mean, clearly had never seen a horror film before in their life, because if I've learned anything, it's that I'm not going into any sort of corrugated iron shed, unless of course it is to get a warning that I'm going to die in the imminent future. But he goes in, he calls out hello. Eventually this little man in his 60s appears, and he's sort of short, he's round, he's wearing a pair of trousers held up by a pair of braces and a flannel shirt. He has these really thick Coke bottle glasses and like a Greek fisherman's hat. The original poster is like, well, I need to get some gas, and the guy seems quite put out by the whole thing. So he's fumbling around, getting this key, he's mumbling in Swedish. He goes out and he's sort of rocking from side to side, constantly watching the two men. And the two guys are like, this is the weirdest thing that's ever happened to us. So they fill up with gas, and as they're driving away, they look in the rearview mirror, and the man is standing on the side of the road, sort of waving both hands in the air at them. And they're like, that was such a strange encounter. By the time they get back to their workplace, the van is on its last legs. It's sputtering, it's smoking, things are not looking good. So the work mechanic reckons that they've either put petrol or diesel into the van when they shouldn't have, and he's like, right, we need to siphon it out. So they siphon it out, but what comes out is sweet and smells like turpentine. And the mechanic looks at it and he goes, Well, this is wartime gasoline. Where did you get this? Wartime gasoline was basically this sort of crude concoction that was used during wartime when people didn't have enough fuel, and it wouldn't make your car run efficiently, but it would make your vehicle run. So the two guys say, well, we stopped at that gas station along the road, and the mechanic is like, what gas station? There's no gas station along that road. There never has been. An original poster described this moment as being like a bubble burst. The two friends, the two work colleagues were suddenly like, shit, we don't ever remember there being a gas station on that road. They went eventually, drove up and down the road. There was no sign of the gas station, no sign that there ever had been a gas station there. And in later life, the original poster was still really perturbed by this whole story, and he did some research. There never was a gas station there. But one of the really amazing things about this story is that he physically kept the receipt. This strange man in this strange gas station had handwritten a receipt and given it to him, and he had put it into his wallet. So he knew that he had physically been there. That fuel was put into the van somehow. But there was no evidence of there ever being a gas station there. So was it a glitch in the matrix? Was it a time slip? Was it a step into an alternate universe? Why did the radios black out on that stretch of road? Who knows?
Unless you've experienced a glitch in the matrix yourself, it's going to be really hard for you to believe people who have experienced them. This comment right here made me think of another time that I experienced a glitch in the matrix that's kind of similar. It has to do with the bag. I still have the bag. This was in 2016, and I just can't get rid of this bag. I got to give a little bit more backstory to this so you can kind of like understand why it was such a big deal. In 2016, I went through a really bad breakup. Myself, along with 3 of my young kids, we were like out of a house. Like we were trying to find places to live. My son, who was about 11 years old at the time, really wanted for Christmas, this was Christmas, was a gold chain. And you know, like any mother that has their kids going through some sort of trauma or anything that's like negative in life, you want to go above and beyond to make sure your child feels important and like they're getting what they want, you know? I was broke as fuck though. I could not afford this chain. I couldn't afford a plated chain. Like we were freaking homeless. We were sleeping on an air mattress. So it just wasn't happening. And I'm like, dude, how am I going to get him a chain for Christmas? That's all he wants was a gold chain for Christmas. We go to the mall and this is the chain he wants. He's like, he had seen another rapper, some dude that he liked. And he was like, I want that chain. This shit was expensive. Like it was not going to happen. So I went to one of those little kiosks, still really expensive, like $400 for like a plated one. I was not getting him this chain. We left the mall. Christmas happens. The day after Christmas, I pull my bag out. This bag. I'm opening it looking for like my wallet or something inside, and the fucking chain was inside the bag. It was just in the bag, and I pull it out and he's in front of me and he's like, oh my God, you got it for me? I didn't steal the chain. And I'm like, man, tell me he stole the chain. Like, did he steal the chain? Like, how did the chain get in my bag? So we had gone to several stores, like several little kiosks along with Kay. There's no way you could take that chain. Like, there's just no way you could take it. That's like grand theft, you know? And I said, you know what? I'm just going to leave this up to the universe. I know none of my kids took it. It just would have been impossible. I didn't take it. How the fuck did the chain get in my bag? Nobody would have bought the chain in my family. Like, nobody would have. We're all broke as shit, right? My son puts the chain on. We go to sleep that night. He was so excited about the chain. The next morning, when we wake up, the chain is off of his neck. The chain is not on his neck anymore. And it's nowhere to be found. Like, we're looking all over the air mattress. There's not many places for it to go when you're like sleeping on an air mattress in the living room floor. The chain was gone. And let me show you what was in replace. I went back to my bag and let me tell you, hold on, it's still in here. I can't get rid of it. I pull out this little spoon and it stinks. This is a stinky little spoon to be exact. This thing reeks. Where did the spoon come from? It's not my spoon, but this is one of those good spoons. But like, and it's an offering from the universe. Like, this is a free spoon. It's a good spoon. If you know, you know. Like, this is a good spoon. But it reeks of ass. So like, I can't even eat off of it, you know? Like, come on. If there was some sort of dimension crossing, like, why did you leave us with the spoon? We wanted the gold chain. What the fuck am I doing with the spoon?
This is an emergency. If you have gained a bowl in your house, check now. Have you gained a bowl in your house? Because we have lost a bowl. Yesterday morning, I emptied the dishwasher and we own 4 Super Bowls. Let me show you. We own 4. 2 of them are square, 2 of them are round. We own 4. Yesterday I emptied the dishwasher. 2 of them were dirty, so I put them in. 2 of them were clean and I took them out. And I put them here, okay? Then this is what I do when I empty the dishwasher. I put everything out on the surfaces and then I restack the dishwasher and then I take the clean stuff and I put it away. And I put 2 bowls away, okay? I put 2 bowls in here. 2 round bowls. My boyfriend comes home from work and he is making a dinner for us and he goes, so the square ones were in the dishwasher, right? So he's making dinner and he goes to get us the bowls to put the dinner and he goes, oh, we only have 1 bowl. And I was like, no, we have 2 bowls. I took them out this morning and I put them away. And he was like, no, there's 1. And he goes to show me that cupboard. He opens the cupboard, he says, we have 1 bowl. I'm like, okay, so I look in the dishwasher. There's the 2 square Super Bowls. That's it. We pull the drawer out, look everywhere in the dishwasher, no bowl. The dishwasher isn't even fully stacked at this point. There's literally 2 bowls and a colander in there. We look in the fridge to see if we've put something in there and covered it with cling film or something, which we never do, but we looked. We looked in every single cupboard, every single drawer in this kitchen, and it is not there. We checked the bedroom, the bathroom, we checked the living room. It is nowhere. There's a glitch in the matrix. I've checked the microwave. It's not in there. And I took 2 out of the dishwasher because we always eat together. So we always match what we're eating with. Like, I find it distressing if one of us is eating on a plate while the other one's eating out of a bowl. So I know as well, if there was 1 bowl in that dishwasher, there was 2 bowls in that dishwasher. And I'm really scared for the day that I open this cupboard and there's 4 bowls in there. Because I'm being gaslit. I'm being gaslit by the Matrix. I don't understand. So where has it gone? Where's it gone? And this has been bugging me now for almost 24 hours. And I genuinely, we didn't smash it. It's not in the bin. Neither of us have smashed it. It's not been put away somewhere. It's like, I just don't know where it could be. So one of you has got an extra bowl in your house, and I know you have, and there's a glitch in the Matrix, and it's appeared somewhere, and I need you all to check now and return it to me. Because it's stressing me out. What is happening? What is happening? I'm going insane. I'm being gaslit.
For more mind-bending Glitch in the Matrix stories, just tap the playlist right here on your screen. Don't forget to like and subscribe, so you never miss a video.